Alright, so we are on episode number 2 of the Scout Knife. So when we went through this last time, we kind of did our rough forging. If you remember, we went from that 1095 steel. So we're pretty close when we kind of put it next to this. I would have liked it to be maybe a little bit thicker, but it's pretty close. So we'll call it a win. So the next steps now are we're just going to start rough grinding this out a little bit. So you can see we've got a couple of indentations that may come out or may not, but if they don't, then it's proof it was a hand forged blade, right? And then we'll do that now, get it all leveled out. Again, we're not going to take too much off the thickness of the blade, just because it's already pretty thin from where I've gone through it here. Now if I make it too thin, when we put it through the quench into the oil, it might just warp either way. So we'll get set up. We're going to be grinding with one of my new grinding things here. So this is pretty thick, this is 36 grit, so we'll just take it nice and easy. And the idea is just to get a rough shape, and we'll work through there. Alright, so we did some pretty good rough grind shaping. So you can see I kind of got the front of the blade looking pretty good. I'm not too sure about the clip point yet, but we'll figure that out later. And then I started putting at least the prices of the handle here. So when we look at where we are, we're pretty good. The handle's a little bit thinner, but that's okay. It might end up being a little bit fatter than that anyway. But what we should do is make sure the wooden scales that we're going to fit on this do cover it. And I'm going to have to, you see they don't, so I'm going to have to figure that out. It's a shame. Okay. Let's do it like that. Okay, so we know that goes there. So I've got to figure the back end out. Oh no. Alright, so we'll take a little bit off the back and then we'll go from there. we're going to do next is we're going to put the pins in, or the pin holes. So this is a brass pin that will hold all the plates on it, and it'll go through like this. But it's better to drill it now before we quench the blade, because once we quench this blade it'll be hardened steel and the drill won't actually go through it. Put those holes in now so we don't have to worry about them. Alright, so we got the pinholes, so you can see this will go through and it'll hold in all the different parts of this handle. So next time we'll be able to get this quenched, and then we'll start the work of really tidying up the blade and then start working on the handle. Alright, so this morning we're going to be doing the heat treat or quench for the blade. So you can see we did the rough grind, so we got a pretty good shape there. It's a pretty straight blade right now. So what we do is we'll heat it up, and we'll kind of heat it up and let it cool down, just kind of let all the molecules get aligned a little bit better, and then we'll do the final quench, which will be in the oil there. And then that'll be it for today's blade. Put it in for the last heat treat now, and then we'll throw it into the oil. And what I do is, I just see this magnet here. So right now, if you see the blade, when it's heated up to the right temperature, the molecules are moving so fast that it loses its magnetism, and that tells me it's at about the right temperature. And then we'll quickly run over the bucket and quench it. Alright, so we're now at the phase where we have forged the blade. We then did a rough grind of the blade to give us this shape, and we drilled our scale pins right there. Then we did the quench, and then after we did the quench, we didn't video it, but then we did the tempering. So what that is basically is when you do the quench in the hot oil, you can make the blade kind of brittle because of the quenching process. So we put it in another oven, about 425 Fahrenheit, for a couple of hours, and that gives it a little bit of, makes it a little less brittle. So we've done that, so now we can start doing on the 60 grit here, we'll just start doing the overall shaping. Still pretty rough, but this is now the point where we really get through this blade and then complete this blade with grinding, and then we'll do some hand sanding. Finished the grinding section, so it looks pretty good. There's a couple of hammer marks that I'm probably not going to be able to get rid of, but that's okay. I can live with that. So next phase now is we take the grinding we've already done, and now we just hand sand it and try and blend it out a little bit. And then we'll work through that, kind of going through lighter and lighter sandpaper pieces. And then that should cover the front part of the blade, and then we start working on the hand. So we'll get through an hour or so of hand sanding. So we spent today doing some grinding, and then we did some hand sanding, and we made some pretty good progress. You can see here it's looking shinier than it was. So we got a nice shape on the handle. I feel pretty good about the blade now, but I did mess it up with my grinder. So while this side looks pretty good and we can kind of hand sand it and improve on that one, on this side you can see that I caught it on the wheel right here. So I'm gonna have to take this back to the grinder tomorrow and just redo that piece. But overall, we've still got a pretty good blade. But I think what I have learned is, you know, if you remember, we were making a father and a son set of knives, and I made this knife, and you can see it's a good fit for my hand, but it's not so much of a good fit for maybe a 13-year-old scout. So we'll make this the dad's scout knife, and then we'll make a kid's scout knife next time. So that's it for today. For this episode, we'll keep making updates, we'll keep making changes and improvements, and eventually we'll get a handle on this. So hope you enjoy this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.